Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. How are you? Are you okay and happy? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. Dear friends, look, whatever we do, whatever we do it for the sake of happiness. So it is the happiness which is actually the biggest ever motive behind all what we are trying to do, all what we are trying to achieve. Dear friends and fellows, even if at all we want to be respected by the people, even if at all we want to get a recognition in the society, even this thing is meant for the sake of happiness, dear friends. But despite all that, despite such a huge struggle, there are many of the people who are successful but not happy. They're successful, they are achieving, they have succeeded in achieving many of the things they wanted to achieve. They did want to achieve it for the purpose of happiness. The things were achieved, but the happiness, it was there. The happiness either they did not get, or it was only a very short lived happiness. I'm not saying that we shouldn't try to achieve all that. I'm not suggesting anything like this one. But at the same time, happiness should be made a target directly as well. Happiness should be our target directly as well, without using the crutches of all those things, all of those achievements. This should be continued. I'm not suggesting that we should abandon our quest for all those things. Whatever is not bad for others and it is you like it, do it. If it is not bad for other people, if it is generally, ethically, morally okay, you have every right to achieve it. Have every right to achieve it, dear friends and fellows. But happiness should not be ignored at all. Happiness should be given preference and priority. Today we have made it a topic of our today's discussion. After after getting after availing the work of a very learned person, I have come to a conclusion that there are seven things which are needed, which must be there for the purpose of happiness. What are those seven things which we need to do? If at all we are seen practicing these seven things, I believe that we will become a happy person, and inshallah we will stay a happy person. What are those seven things? Let's talk about all of those things one by one. Dear friend, the first one is forgiveness. 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 Forgive and seeking forgiveness, forgiving others on the one hand, and seeking forgiveness from other people at the same time. Both of these are important because here in this world we are seen doing, sometimes consciously and even unconsciously, the things which hurt other people. Other people might have done the things which does hurt us as well. So I think that we should forgive other people, and we should also seek the forgiveness from other people as well. So if at all there is any sort of somebody owes you a big amount of money or something else, I think in that case, the return of that money, the settling of that case, if at all there is a kind of dispute over something very important, so in that case, I think the settlement of that case is very important. The compensation is very important. Otherwise, if at all it's not a case like this one, it must be forgiven and we must seek the forgiveness of the people. Also, that we should be ready to give others their due right if at all we have not been given, we have not given them till now. I think we should return whatever is there. We shouldn't try to keep it at all. We should try to make a compensation if at all there is any need of that. Forgiving and seeking forgiveness, both of these things are very important indeed. Now, the second thing is which we need to do, that is forgetfulness. That is the forgetfulness. Is it too, by the way? Can we forget it? The people say that I can forgive, but I cannot forget. This is what people are seen talking about. Okay, fine. But look, whatever happens with us initially, it gives us a lot of pain. Mean any sort of trauma, trouble, which disturbed us a lot, does not disturb us anymore. Does not disturb us anymore. Why? Because the time heal all wounds, the time heal, even if at all somebody dies, even if at all somebody dies, a loved one dies, even if at all the beloved spouse dies, what does happen? Obviously, it is a kind of, something very much devastating initially, but later on the life have to survive, the life have to go on no matter what is happening. Everything else gets revived. So in the same manner, I think if at all somebody has suffered a big pain or a trouble, I think it keeps getting thinner and thinner, lesser and lesser with the passage of time. And then a time arrives that it stops hurting us at all, totally, dear friend. So that is, another thing. This is forgetfulness. I think we should accept this factor, the factor of forgetfulness. And now the third thing is that is trust in Allah. Tawakkal, trust in Allah. I think that this will relieve a lot of stress, like the above two, things. The first one, of course, that is forgiveness and seeking forgiveness. Forgiving and seeking forgiveness, forgiving and seeking forgiveness. The other is, that is, forgetfulness. The third is tawakkal ilallah, tawakkal. It makes the things easier because it lessens the burden upon our mind. We are a lot more burdened. But once we start practicing the tawakkul, I think the things become much, much easier for us. So it is very, very important indeed that we practice tawakkul. Tawakkul is something which is very, very important. Tawakkal. And now the fourth is give, charity, contribution. That is called sadaqah in Islam. That is, sadaqah in Islam. It is called charity in a neutral language. Charity. We must contribute. We must do something for the people, for the needy people. We must do something. We shouldn't be a self centered person at all. We shouldn't be a selfish person at all. Those who are selfish people, they don't find contentment at all. They are not seen contented, not at all, not at all. For the reason is that they are not practicing the charity, they are not practicing the sadaqah. So that is the fourth item out of the seven. And the fifth is, that is worship. That is worship. Believe zikr in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, having a good strong connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, stay connected with Allah. I think this staying connected with Allah and trusting in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I think that is something really amazing, because no spirituality can ever be gained without that. And this thing does provide us with the spiritual power, with the spiritual power. So this spirituality, I think it is very, very, very important, having a relationship. We are the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the creator. We are the creation. And we do have to become, we do have to surrender our will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do have to try to become a true slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do have to become, not only that we have to say it from our mouth, from in the words, rather our action should be telling us as well that I do trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I believe in the omnipotence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the next and the sixth is that is keep learning throughout your life. Keep learning throughout your life. You must be an active learner. Although the learning is being done by almost everybody, but though some of the people they are incorrigible. Some of the people they are incorrigible. They cannot be reformed at all. They cannot be reformed at all. So I think that situation is very bad indeed. It must not be done at all. It must not be. We need to keep learning throughout our life. This learning must not stop. Keep getting new information, new knowledge, new skills. learn new skills all the time. So learning, adopting, practicing, improving, and this improvement cannot be done, of course, without learning. So that is actually, these are the things which we need to. Also, now the lost is, the seventh and the lost is, that is relationship. Build relationships, because we the humans are social animals. So I think that we need to keep learning all the time. So we should be developing our relationship, good relationship with other people. I think that is this these relationships with our kinship, our kinship, relating, having a good relation, staying in touch with the people, with our loved ones, with a good friend. We must be improving our relationship with those we must keep improving our relationship, and we must keep getting new and new relationships as well. These relationships are very, very important, and I think without that, it is not possible at all to stay happy, to stay satisfied, because there are certain things which can only be enjoyed while we are with other people, and not without that at all. If at all there is no good company, I think that we cannot improve, we cannot become a better person, we cannot enjoy the life, we cannot feel satisfied. So the last and the seventh thing is that we must develop our relationship. The relationships matters, and matters a lot in the life of each and every human being. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair.